Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day.
Aloha everyone, and welcome back to Aloha Jen's Beauty Blog. For those of you that are new here, hi, my name is Jen and I am a licensed esthetician in the state of California. Well, welcome to the Spring Reset Series, episode number 13, and tonight we are going to talk about fascia. I'm going to do a deep fascia hold session with you guys. I'm just going to film one half of my face with some new movements that I've been practicing that have been phenomenal and have really made a difference in how the appearance of my face looks and how I feel. Now, I'm not going to film the full session because if I filmed the full session, we would be here for way over an hour, because when you're doing these deep fascia holds, you have to hold them for about 3 minutes in order to make a difference. Now, from the beginning of my channel, I've always talked about fascia and how important it is. And I'm going to stress that again tonight. Fascia is this fibrous tissue that is like, we'll say, fishnet stockings, okay? And when that fascia becomes distorted, it twists, which creates like muscle knots. It blocks blood flow from getting to the tissues. It also blocks lymph from moving out. We all know how important this is because the blood flow to the tissues brings nutrients and hydration, which in turn builds collagen and elastin and repairs those cells. Moving the lymph out is what detoxifies our body. And if we don't focus on moving lymph throughout the entire body, it creates disease and havoc in the body because those toxins stay in there. That's why it's important to exercise, because the bounciness from exercising bounces that lymph throughout your body. Dry brushing your body is important. Fascia work is important. So we use the Mann Anma to work our fascia on our face, our neck, our chest, and our shoulders. But there's more to fascia than just going in a sweeping motion up and down at a light brisk movement, working that fascia. You have to do these things called deep fascia holds. And what those deep fascia holds do is it helps release those deep fascia adhesions that adhere to the bone. When your fascia is tight and distorted, it can attach itself to the bone and wrap itself around there. And in order to release that tension, you have to not only do these surface moves, but you have to do these deep fascia holds. And when you're doing the deep fascia holds on your face, you hold each area for 3 minutes in order for the fascia to recognize, for it to release from that bone. Now, if you're just starting out with deep fascia holds, just doing one session isn't enough. I would recommend doing them 1 or 2 times a week and skip a few days in between, because if you do it back to back, it's going to be really sore and you're going to overwork that area. Now, fascia isn't just about the face, the neck, the chest, and the shoulders. It's all over our body. And using tools like the fascia blaster on your body isn't enough to completely release all those adhesions, especially on the bones like your rib cage, around your lower back and your hips, your SI joint. You need to do something called block therapy, which is the same concept of these deep fascia holds, but it's with your body using these bamboo blocks. It's truly amazing. I've purchased the sampler program and I've been doing these deep fascia holds with a towel, and I've graduated from the towel and now I need to get these blocks. So my bonus check is coming this month and I am going to pick up a starter program and start practicing block therapy. I highly recommend block therapy for everyone because it is so important for your overall health, not just to release that fascia, but to get rid of pain in your body. If you have a lot of pain, if you're starting to see these gels form and your skin hanging, you have these deep fascia adhesions in your ribs and your hips that's just pulling everything down. But fascia is also considered now its own organ itself. And the more that we can work this fascia and release that tension so our body is flowing in a beautiful state where everything's just moving through its channels, it causes less disease. And there's been people who've had diseases who've done this block therapy that have relieved their disease and relieved their pain. It's even helped them, totally regain their muscle balance, their overall posture. It's helped them, release a lot of back pain, hip pain. It's just truly amazing. And if you can afford it, I would highly suggest it for everyone. Now, I learned about block therapy through Mann, and I deep dived into it, and it's definitely something that I would recommend for everybody. Now, it's not cheap. Your starter program will cost you around $150 to $250. And there's two starter programs. There's one that comes with the block buddy. There's a smaller block and then there's a bigger block. So if you get a smaller, I would recommend getting the bigger block. Now, the other starter package, it comes with both blocks. Now, that's the one that I want, but I don't think I'm going to get that because it is kind of expensive, because not only is it, like $250, but then it's also $25 shipping for me because the company is based in Canada. Now, I learned about this through Mann, and I'm so thankful because, doing fascia blasting all over your body is a lot of work, and sometimes it's just too time consuming and the tools are expensive. But what's really important about this block therapy is that it teaches you how to breathe correctly, which is in through your nose and out through your nose, but not just breathing into your stomach. It's about expanding your whole diaphragm, which most of us are not properly breathing. And what happens when you're not properly breathing is your body's lacking that oxygen, and our blood really needs that oxygen to supercharge all those cells in our body. So I highly encourage everybody to, look it up, because when you're thinking about your skin, you truly have to look at your body as a whole. So like if your diet's crap, your skin's crap. If you're not hydrated properly, your skin's not hydrated properly. When your body is in pain, it shows on your face. When you have muscle imbalances, fascia adhesions, it all pulls down. Everything is connected. So I wanted to bring that up, and you guys know I always preach about fascia because it is so, so important. And like I said, I've introduced it on the channel in 2018, but I have been practicing fascia release on myself since 2015. All right, so a couple of announcements. Let me take a sip of water. Now, I still have allergies, so I may get a little coffee. I hope not. One, I ordered the Anma serum, and I ordered the cream. So it's a night cream. So this is a skincare system that works for those of us who are in perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. They have a patented technology. It's called MEP. And this is for us that are lacking, that our skin is estrogen deficient. And I did mention this earlier that I wanted to test this out, because they do recommend that you start like around 45, because that's usually when most experience perimenopause. Some experience it earlier, some experience menopause earlier. And what happens when our skin becomes estrogen deficient is we lose about 30% of our collagen and then 2% a year after. And I have been noticing some things with my skin, like right in through here. I'm noticing that I'm losing a lot of elasticity, and I'm starting to get those funky looking pores where they look stretched. And I'm noticing that, you know, on my face all over, but mainly right in through here. So I'm going to start the Anma system. When it gets here, I have a routine in place. And then once I start that, I'm going to share my routine with you guys. Now, I was going to place an order for the Osmosis Renew, Catalyst, and the Replenish, but I decided to forego the Renew and the Catalyst. I'm just going to finish up what I have here now, and then I will start the Anma system. But what I did order from Osmosis is I ordered the Replenish, which is the antioxidant serum, and I ordered Rescue because the Anma cream, the night cream, has 2 forms of retinol in it. And my skin in the past hasn't done well with retinol, and I'm kind of scared that I'm going to have a reaction. So Rescue is an epidermal repair serum, and it will help restore my barrier. So I'm going to be incorporating that. I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to incorporate it into my skincare routine. You know, I love all the skincare products that I'm using right now. They've been doing amazing things for my skin, but my skin needs more. And it's the products that, you know, just aren't cutting it. And then we can see what happens with my skin. I'll take a before picture, and then we can take a progress shoot. So when you're using Anma, it's recommended for the first 3 to 6 months that you try to use the whole system like every day. Now, I don't know if my skin's going to tolerate it, the cream every day, but I'm sure going to try. I may have to just introduce it 1 or 2 times a week and go from there. Once you've been on it for about 3 to 6 months, they say you want to try to shoot for 6 months, then you can back off of it and use it like maybe 2 or 3 times a week. So we will go from there. And again, I ordered the serum and the moisturizer. I did not order the eye cream. I may hold off on that for a bit, but we will see. So I wanted to let you know that. Another thing is, I don't know if you guys saw my last video. I said I was going to order a case for my Pico Toner, and I did. I found this one on Amazon. It is a makeup case, and it was only like $21.99. It's plastic, and it has a strong smell to it. But I have my Pico Toner and the accessories in here. I will be right back. Sorry, we got disrupted. All right, so I have my Pico Toner up here in a tray, and I put it in the silver case that it comes in. So my Pico Toner is in here. And then I have my wrist strap and my one Pico cord connector. And down here, I have my gloves. I even have my Jane Man Lift. I have my probes. I have my facial toning pads. And I have the infinity probes in here. So it's a great case. And this way, my Pico Toner is protected. And I know it's not going to get broken. So like I said, it was only $21.99 on Amazon. I'll link it down below. So there's that. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is that Dyson just released a new hair tool. I'll pop it up on one of these sides. It's called the Air Straight. So this is a hair straightener that just uses air between the 2 plates, and it will straighten your hair. Now, I watched a couple of videos on this because I was really intrigued by it. It's $500, just like the Corral was $499. The Airwrap is almost $600 now. So I watched a couple of videos on it, and all it does is just straighten the hair. You can't bend the ends or anything like that, just straight, okay? And it looks pretty cool, but for a tool that's just going to straighten and you can't curl with, it's very expensive. And also, from the hairstyles that I saw on Dyson's website that they created, and I did see a couple of videos here on YouTube, it didn't get the hair that straight. I could see like it wasn't very smooth, like it was just like a natural straight. Like if you were to take a round brush and just blow out your hair, but you could still see some of the natural curl in there or some like frizz, right? And I was like, Yeah, not for me. So I was intrigued by it, and then I pulled out my Dyson Airwrap and I used this brush, and that's what I used to straighten my hair last night. Now, this is last night's hair. I do have some curl in it because it's been a little bit humid here and I went on a walk and some of the curl came back. But I got a pretty good hairstyle from it. And if you're curious in that air straight, I would say don't buy it. I would get an air wrap, spend the extra money because you get more tools with it. And you can get your hair just as straight with the air wrap from the many different tools that come with it or the attachments versus that air straight. I mean, the thing with the air straight is you can just, straighten your hair when it's wet. That's how you have to use it, because if you straighten it when your hair is dry, you're not going to get straight. But I just thought I would bring that up to you guys because it just seems kind of interesting that they would charge, $500 for something that just does one thing. And and I saw some comments that some people left on Dyson, and Dyson was justifying the price because they said it's like 6 years in the making. So all the research that's involved is what's brought the cost to where it is. So I just thought that was interesting. So I wanted to talk about that. I mean, it looks pretty cool and everything, but $500 for just something that straightens your hair, that doesn't get it that straight like a flat iron, it just seems a little bit too much. I would just go for the air wrap, but I liked my air wrap when I used it last night, but my thing is that it gets way too hot and it makes my hair too hot. And I find that the cool shot when you go over this section is just kind of difficult to, use. You have to flip it up and hold the button in place, and you can't just flip it and then turn it off. So it was, just kind of a pain in the tail. So I wanted to bring that up. Now, as I mentioned, I'm still using Aduro. This is my last bottle. I have about this much left. So I have seen some great changes in my skin. I'm going to point them out after I wash my face. I have my SPF on with my Rose Ink Skin Enhanced Luminous Tinted Serum. And I'm going to wash all this off and we're going to do those deep fascial holds. But where I've really noticed a difference in my skin is right here underneath my eyes. It's not as dark and it looks brighter. And I've just noticed some plumpness coming back in through here. And that's about it. It's very subtle. It's something that I notice, and you guys will probably notice my under eyes when I take off my makeup. But that's it. I'm putting it all over my face, and I just start applying it to my earlobes too, and they look like they have some life coming back into them. But I do plan on still using this when I use the Anma. So I'm just probably going to use it more so as a treatment mask. We'll see. But that will all come when the Anma gets here. I'll lay out my skincare routine for you guys. And, another reason why I switched over to Anma is not only because, my skin is becoming estrogen deficient, but I get so many of you reaching out to me to try Anma. What are my thoughts? She started, and so I'm going to start it because all the reviews out there on Anma on YouTube are either from Anma or from those who sell it. So why not take my perspective from it? I purchased it with my own money, so I will share it with you guys. All right, so I'm going to go wash my face, and then we're going to do those deep fascia holds. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so I just cleansed my skin. I used my Michelle Porley Pore Cleansing Oil and my Neogenesis Cleanser. My eyes are a little bit blurry. It's allergies, so I have to apologize for that. Okay, so interesting story. So, I have 2 Anmas here. I have 3 actually. You guys remember my clear one? Well, that one is now in my purse and I carry it with me and I use it throughout the day. Well, today at work, one of my coworkers, she was suffering from like intense neck and shoulder pain from stress. So I busted out my Anma and I used it on her and we relieved her migraine by doing some work with the Anma. So how cool is that? All right, so let's do these deep fascia holds. Now these you're going to hold for 3 minutes each, and I'm just going to do this side first, okay? So first, I don't know if you guys can see, but my skin is red, but if you could see like how much better my under eyes look, you know, it's a combination. It's Aduro, it's using that P2 on the Pico Toner. So, I mean, just look at this, look at them. It's like my hollows are almost gone. The skin looks so much better. It feels like it's redensified in that area. So good, right? Really, really good. Okay, so when you are doing the deep fascial holds, you're going to use the spine of the Anma, okay? Now, I'm going to set my Apple Watch timer for 3 minutes. So we're going to hold each one for 3 minutes, and I'm just doing this side. I'm not going to do this side with you guys because it's going to take too long. So we want to start underneath our collarbone. So we find our collarbone and we kind of go down, and we're going to put some pressure on there, like a level 3, almost like you're digging, and set your timer. And you're going to just hold it in that collarbone and kind of tilt it down like this. So you're really getting into that fascia, and you're probably going to feel some tension there. And you want to feel that tension because that's the fascia that has adhered to the bone. And we want to release that, loosen it up, and just put this pressure on there so it's going to get a surge of blood flow, which it's been missing for who knows how long. So we're going to hold for 3 minutes, and then we're going to move to our neck. So I've added a couple of spots to this routine because there's some areas where when I was working on my face, I'm like, oh, you know what? I have tension there. I should do these deep fascial holds, because if I have that tension there, that means there's fascia adhesions and there's no blood flow really getting to that area, and lymph isn't moving out. So we're going to do this. So I know 3 minutes is a long time, but that's how long it takes for the fascia to realize, like, hey, I need to do something here. I feel like I need to move it over just a little bit. Oh yeah, right in there. All right. Okay. So the next spot we're going to go to is where your occipital is. So you're going to place this like where your head would rest on the shampoo bowl. And what I like to do is I like to go like this, bend my head, and then I'm going to stretch it. And just take the fascia, or I'm sorry, take the Anma spine and press deep into it and kind of like go at an angle, so you're kind of like pulling it down a little bit, and you're going to feel this tension in there release. And these do get quite intense with these holds, so you want to make sure that you have something to rest your arm on, because your arm will get tired if you're just holding it like this the whole time. So I'm probably not going to do this for the full 3 minutes because it's going to take a very, very long time. And I'm going to run out of things to talk about. But you guys get the idea, and you could practice it at home. Okay, next, what I like to do is I'll come over here, right behind my ear, where my hairline is. And I'm holding, hopefully you guys can see this. So right here where my hairline is, I'm going to hold this at a pressure of about 3. I'm going to press into it, and you're going to feel tenderness there. So if you feel tenderness or pain, that means you have tension there and you have to release it. So we're going to hold there. So this is a new area that I'm adding. Hopefully you guys can see this. It's just right behind my ear where my hairline goes. What, Misha? Oh. Hold on a second. Okay. Just 1 second. I have to give Misha a treat. Come here. Come on. Here you go. Good girl. That's a good girl. Okay, next part is where your sternomasculoid is, right underneath your ear. You take the spine and you're going to press right underneath there. And you can even feel this on the back of your jaw. So you're going to rest the spine on the back of your jaw here, right underneath your ear, and where your sternomasculoid starts. And you're going to just hold here, putting some pressure in there for 3 minutes. I have a lot of tension here. And when you're doing these holds, it's really important that you breathe. Take these deep breaths. Take it in through your nose and out through your nose. And make sure you're really getting in to your diaphragm. So and when you're exhaling, don't force it out. Just kind of let it go out slowly. So one more breath. Okay, so next we're going to go down that sternomasculoid. I can't say it. And right where you feel that tension, just like in between your trap and the mid neck, you're going to press and hold into that muscle. And you're going to probably feel this in your shoulder like I do. Okay, this one is intense, but don't be afraid of that pain that you feel. It needs to get out. And it's important too that you keep your core in tight when you're doing these, working on that posture. Even though we're going to lean over and put our arms on the table, that's okay. We're still, keeping that core in tight and focusing on it. Oh boy, this is intense. I feel this all down in the front of my shoulder, the mid shoulder, the back of my shoulder. Okay, so then I just kind of take this with some pressure and I'm going to go down a little bit here. I feel some more in there. Sometimes I'll give it a little wiggle. You can stretch your neck if you want. Okay, so next we're going to go on your jawline. So you're going to take your Anma spine, you're going to go on your jawline, you're going to kind of lift, and you're going to put that pressure into your jawline. And you want to do these bare face with no oil on your skin or moisturizer. I mean, you could put a serum on, but if your skin is slippery while you're doing these holds, this is just gonna jerk out of place, especially if you cough. So you can even come down here a little bit to a little bit more of your chin and press in there, because we have our depressors right in here that get tight and you want to release that tension. Okay, next area I'm going to take it is right here in front of my ear. Take the spine and just press in. If you're a teeth grinder, a jaw clencher, you're going to feel this. So this is an added spot. I'm starting to drain too, by the way. It's a good time to put on a nice video while you're doing this to watch so you don't get bored. Next, we're going to go move to that cheek. You're going to take the spine, get underneath that cheek, and you're going to press into there. Now, this is probably going to be a tender area. Gosh. I really can't wait until all these trees are done pollinating. Okay. So if you wanted to, like, just maybe just focus on an area, say if you were going to work your jowls tonight with your microcurrent, you can go in and do the collarbone, the neck moves that we did, and your jaw, and do this cheek move. Just go in there for a little bit, and you can do these releases, and you'll get all that blood flowing through the area. And then go in, work out that fluid by doing the sweeping motions, and then go in with your microcurrent, and you'll have a better outcome with it. Okay, so I'm going to just come up here in front of the cheek a little bit, and I'm going to put some pressure on here because we all have that tension that goes in there too. And you can rock it back and forth if you want. It's amazing how much tension you carry in there. You wouldn't think that you did, right? Okay, so next we're going to move to the temple, well, right above the ear. So you're going to fold your ear down, take your spine, and you're going to lift up and press into that area. Another area that holds a lot of tension, a lot of jaw movement. So you kind of, when you're lifting up, it's like you're stretching that area at the same time. You should feel like a deep release right in through here. Okay. Next area is you're going to move to your temple. The same thing is you're going to lift up and press in. So lift up like you're stretching that area. And you'll feel this all right in through here. Maybe even down here, depending on how much tension you have. And then when you do one side, when you're holding each one for the full 3 minutes, compare to the side that you didn't do. You're going to see a lift in this side. It gives you an instant facelift. Okay, next area. This is a new area. So I like to take the corner of the spine and I put the corner right here on the inside of my eye and have part right here on my nose. And we're not going to do a level 3, but we're just going to go in and put some pressure on there when we feel that tension. And we're just going to hold it. So I kind of lift up, so I'm getting this area, and then I'm putting pressure. So lift up and in. You don't want to use a pressure of 3 on your nose right here. So you'll feel tension right in through here, and you're going to feel it right in here. You may even feel it like starting to move through your eye, all the way around your eye, and you may get some eye watering too from that, like I'm getting right now. Okay, and the final move is going to be your eyebrows. So you're going to take the spine and place it on your brow bone. And you are going to just put that right there, and you're just going to like sort of kind of like lift a little bit, but you're putting some pressure on there. Now you may feel more tension here in the front, and you can definitely rock that, which I'm doing right now. This one is probably like one of the most uncomfortable moves because we carry so much tension around the eyes. And you do get a lot of those fascia adhesions around the brow bone there. They're just like wrapped in there. And that's what pulls your hoods down. You can rock over to the outside of the brow if you wanted to. Come up a little bit like this. Okay. So you see this side, we did those deep fascial holds. As you can see, my eyebrow already looks a little bit more lifted than this one. Cheek looks a little bit more defined, but we released a lot of tension in that area. So what you want to do now is just come over to this side and repeat. So this is it for tonight's video. I just wanted to come on here, share some things with you guys, talk about these deep fascial holds and working that fascia, how important it is. Now I'm going to continue on with the rest of my treatment, and I hope that you found that this was helpful. Now remember, you can incorporate these about 1 or 2 times a week. You just want to make sure you skip a couple of days in between, because it can be a little bit much if you do it back to back for your face. You'll get some soreness and some tenderness, and don't be surprised if the next day that you do have some soreness after doing these deep fascial holds, because what's happening is you're releasing a lot of tension, so the muscle and the fascia is finding its new set place. So you may feel some tenderness there from these, just like you would if you were working out your muscles at the gym doing resistance training. All right, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Now, I'm not probably going to be back this week as I have a very busy week this week. I'm working all this week. It's my birthday, so I'll probably be back either Sunday or Monday, and I'll probably come back. That will probably be my Aura Lift update video. So, because this is my last week with my Aura Lift too, by the way. All right, so have a beautiful week ahead. I'm sending you all so much love and light, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye, and don't forget to practice fascia.
Hey now, take a step outside and seize the day now.